Welcome to the 2021 Creative Power Awards. On behalf of our dedicated staff and board of directors, thank you for joining us. I'm Christina Wright, Executive Director of Arts for All Wisconsin, the statewide organization on arts and disability. I have light-colored skin and very short blonde hair. I am wearing a black blouse, and behind me is a solid black curtain. Just below the small square that I am on the screen is another small square featuring an ASL student interpreter, either Jennifer, Kylie, or Julie, also wearing a black shirt. We are grateful for the services provided to us today from the UW-Milwaukee Interpreter Training Program. At the controls, but not on your screen, is Jill Jaworski, Director of Arts Education, and Mike Lawler, Director of Development and Storytelling. I am grateful for Mike, Jill, and Art Manager Deborah Scheibinger for crafting the wonderful story I get to share with you today. Each year, Wisconsin artists ages 5 through adult who identify with having a disability are invited to submit up to 2 original works of art through our annual Call for Art. This year's call included a new component, a call to poets of all ages to submit poetry on the theme home. Because why not try something wildly different during a worldwide pandemic, right? So instead of sending their creative work to our Madison Art Center, this year's call was distanced and digital, and we really weren't sure what to expect. We were delighted that 114 artists submitted over the World Wide Web 170 works of visual art and 15 poems during this most unusual year. This program engaged people with disabilities of all ages from 42 communities throughout our great state. Thank you to each one of you for submitting your works of art to Arts for All Wisconsin so that we could come together today to celebrate your creative power. Of course, none of this would have ever been possible without the support of our sponsors. This year, more than ever, we are grateful for the support from businesses, organizations, foundations, and individuals throughout our state. Funding from National Guardian Life, Teal Plastics, Numbers for Nonprofits, the Wisconsin Arts Board, the Kohler Foundation, and many other generous donors made today possible. We are also grateful for promotional support from Wisconsin Public Radio. Michelle and the crew at Monroe Street Framing, thank you for the generous donation of your thoughtful and impeccable framing of the Creative Power award-winning art and poetry. And thank you to each of our individual donors, volunteers, participants, and fans for your support of our mission. Did you know that over 80% of our operating budget comes from contributions from people just like you? Please consider becoming part of the Arts for All family of funders. We've made it even easier than ever to donate in any amount. It's even easy to set up an automatic monthly payment. Please consider $10 or $20 per month, less than it takes to fill up your gas tank. It would help tremendously. And you can do it right from your phone. Think of how much we've learned to do from our phones in the last year. Oh, and speaking of learning, thank you to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction for their support for Call for Art throughout our schools and for fiscal support of this program, our artist residency program, and other arts initiatives that support students with disabilities through the arts in classrooms throughout Wisconsin.
I'm Julia Hartwig, Director of Special Education for the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. For more than 20 years, DPI has partnered with Arts for All Wisconsin with funding through the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. We believe strongly in Arts for All's mission to expand the capabilities, confidence, and quality of life of individuals with disabilities through experiences with the arts. These programs improve artistic, social, cognitive, and literacy skills, which are also central to our focus on increasing outcomes for students with disabilities. The Artist in Residency programs and providing professional development for educators are two particularly appreciated components of Arts for All Wisconsin services for children. Additionally, we all know how challenging this past year has been. Arts for All was able to distribute communication boards and supplies to special education departments and art classrooms in schools and Head Start programs to continue to have a positive impact on the education, self-esteem, and growth of thousands of students with disabilities. Thank you, Arts for All Wisconsin, for all you do for the valued members of our communities.
What a challenging year this has been for teachers and special education support staff in our schools. Thank you for all that you have done in classrooms and kitchens and living rooms throughout our state. We applaud your commitment and your creativity. We are especially grateful for the art teachers who help students submit their work to our call. You have made our lives richer. All submitted works of visual art and poetry were reviewed by a jury of arts professionals who select the award-winning works. Thank you to this year's jurors, Amida, Peter, Ashante, and Angie, for your expertise and time. I'd like to take a moment to share a little about this year's jurors. One of the benefits of a virtual exhibition is that jurors don't have to be in Madison to deliberate. This was the case with Amida, former executive director with Dane Arts Mural Arts. Amida has left a lasting impression on Madison through her prolific mural creations. And though she's no longer a local, we're grateful that she could participate as a juror.
Hi, my name is Amida Roller. I am very honored to be a part of this process. Being able to enjoy, critique, and understand why the artists produced their work was very rewarding. They were able to produce such beautiful and creative works at all different levels. My experience as an art teacher, a special ed teacher, and a muralist gave me a better understanding of the hard work that went into the artwork they created. In collaborating with the other jurors, Peter and Ashanti was great. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this exciting project.
When an art history PhD who is taking some time away from the New York and Chicago gallery scene reaches out to see if you have any volunteer opportunities, what better way to capitalize on that expertise than to invite that fella to be on the jury? Peter, we are so glad you reached out.
Hi everyone, my name is Peter and I served on the jury for this year's Arts for All annual Call for Art.
2021 Call for Art juror, Peter Bovenmeier.
This was my first time working on the jury, and knowing the program a bit, I came into it with really high expectations. But I was truly blown away by the talent, creativity, and versatility of all the artists and their submissions.
Peter is an art historian and gallerist based in Madison.
So congratulations to the winners of the Creative Power and Merit Awards and to all the artists who participated in this event. Your art has really touched me and many others, and I encourage you to keep creating, and I look forward to seeing more of your art soon.
We became familiar with the talents of award-winning artist Ashanti Forsum during our participation in Disability Pride's virtual exhibition last summer. Ashanti's perspectives were an asset to this year's jury process, and I hope that we have opportunities to work together in the future. A call for poetry calls for a poet laureate, and we had the good fortune that the City of Madison's poet laureate was willing to share her time with us. Thank you, Angie, for providing thoughtful feedback to each of our inaugural poets.
Hi, this is Angie Trudell Vasquez. I'm the Madison Poet Laureate. I want to thank you for entrusting your poems with me. I read them not just for content, but for craft, for feeling, for word choice, for play with language. The pieces I selected resonated with me. Definitely they were original, they were heartfelt. I felt like I was getting a window into the writer's life a little bit, because I know when you write a poem, you're putting in feeling, you're translating a feeling. And I felt like the people who submitted poems for the project did that. So thank you for that. It's hard to put vulnerability in a poem, but many of you were able to do so. So it was my great honor to be a part of this, to read your words. Please know that I treated them with the utmost care and respect. And I'm very happy to have participated in this way. I've seen a lot of poems in my time as Madison Poet Laureate, and before this, where I would help edit or select poems. So I know that that's not done lightly. And again, I really appreciate your trust, and I hope that you continue writing, because it certainly is a journey writing. I have a friend who's in her 70s and says she's writing the best poems of her life, which I think is exciting, because we can continue with this particular art form and it can grow. I also want to close with words I live by, and they're from Mary Oliver. And every day I ask myself this question: tell me what it is you want to do with your one wild and precious life. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Thank you.
Today, we are celebrating the wild and precious contributions of the artists who bravely shared their extraordinary work with us. If you haven't yet experienced the virtual galleries, please take time to do so, but not now. Now, let's turn our attention to the Creative Power and Merit Award winners. Creative Power Awards in the child category, ages 5 to 10, were awarded to the following works. The first award we recognize today goes to Isla Donahue for her work, Who? Baby Owl and Mama Owl. Vivid teal and violet feathered shapes perch on a branch. Twin orange beaks and talons flash bright in the night. A baby and mama owl lean in and snuggle tightly under a slivered blue moon. Isla is from Hudson, Wisconsin. Her teacher, Cynthia Burek-Chrismer at Willow River Elementary School, was instrumental in ensuring that we all are able to experience not only these beautiful owls, but the beetle bug on the branch. The next Creative Power Award for Visual Art in the child category goes to The Ferris Wheel Giraffe by artist Bentley Melnick. Created from foil, this colorful giraffe is beautifully proportioned and detailed. It has a long, elegant neck, a feathered mane, and a fanciful saddle to hop on for a magical ride. Bentley is a fourth grader from Menasha who has articulated two of the benefits of creating art. It makes him feel happy and calm. Thank you, Bentley, for making us happy too. Representative Snodgrass from the 57th District is with us today to celebrate Bentley's achievement. Congratulations, Bentley. The Creative Power Award for Poetry in the Child category goes to poet Laura Lee Riley for her poem, Home on a Hillside. Let's take a moment to listen to Laura Lee's poem.
Home on a Hillside by Laura Lee Riley. In winter, home is cozy, warm, and snug. When someone enters, jacket and snow pants, sipping hot cocoa in a St. Nicholas mug. Home smells good with flowers in spring. Home holds rakes and my gardening things. Home is covered in leaves in the fall. I jump in the leaves and I'm covered in them all. One day I sit on the couch with my pets all near me. I read a book and start humming. My cat and dog does with a snore. Then suddenly a frightening bark ruins it all. Then I stand up to peek out the door. I find the mailman doing his thing. I look at the dog who looks as if she was a guard of a king. So I grab the mail and I realize my cat is gone. I look out the window and say under my breath, that sneak has gone out on the lawn. I grab the leash and I'm out again. I find the cat glaring at the neighbor's hen. But my pets aren't the most important thing about home. The most important thing about home is family.
Laura Lee is a talented young artist in Jefferson, Wisconsin. Her painting, Off and On, is in our Creative Power traveling exhibition for one more year. Congratulations, Laura Lee. And now for the Merit Award in Visual Art in the Child category. COVID Runaway by Jackson Lee Kruger. In a lab room, a doctor grips the vaccine in one hand and pinches the spiky virus in the other, as all around a battle is being fought between coronavirus and the vaccine. I particularly like how he incorporated his signature into the environment created in his art. Jackson is a 10-year-old from Sturgeon Bay. He says, I like to draw, and when I draw, it makes me feel free. My art shows that COVID is not strong because we have a vaccine. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of Jackson in the coming years. The jurors were tasked with choosing 10 works of visual art and 4 poems to be added to our traveling exhibition called Creative Power. An exhibition of 34 fantastic, diverse works of art by people with disabilities that travels through the state for 3 years. Creative Power is welcomed by host sites throughout Wisconsin that can ensure the exhibition will be free of charge and physically accessible by audiences. If you would like to welcome this exhibition to your community, the host application is available on our website under Traveling Exhibition. The Creative Power Awards Youth category in visual art are given to artists ages 11 through 15. And the first award goes to Brilliant Fantasy Monster by Dylan DuPont. Bold, saturated color fill every inch of this vivid painting. We see a glorious rainbow and glowing sun rise above a fantastical creature, round as a globe with a wide red grin. Dylan is from Hudson, Wisconsin, and is learning a lot in art class. He has a fabulous teacher who helped him make sure that Brilliant Fantasy Monster reached us this year. Congratulations on this award, Dylan. The next Creative Power Award in Youth Award in Visual Art goes to Victoria Campbell for her mixed media piece, Snow in the Forest. A bright red sky fills the horizon beyond the sloping forest. Snowy silhouettes of triangle trees cast long blue shadows over snow-mounded hills. Victoria is from West Salem, Wisconsin. In addition to winning a Creative Power Award, Snow in the Forest has been chosen by one of our corporate sponsors to be used for their holiday card. Congratulations, Victoria. The Merit Award in the Youth category, Visual Arts, was awarded to Olivia Marie Brosky for her painting, Celery Flowers 2. Feathery red, golden yellow, and vibrant pink flowers with dark centers spray from a rounded black vase. This graceful floral still life was painted in part with actual celery.
(2021) Call for Art Youth Visual Art Merit winner, Olivia Marie Brosky.
You won! Oh my God! You won with your painting! Are you happy? Yeah! I won! I won! Happy!
Olivia is an 11-year-old girl from Milwaukee who loves painting, dancing, and singing. Though Olivia is not able to read or write and has limited language, she can express herself with her art. Congratulations, Olivia. Bear with me for one moment, please. If at any point you've found yourself thinking, I didn't know about the traveling exhibition, or I didn't know Call for Art was for all ages. Maybe there's even more about Arts for All Wisconsin programming that you aren't aware of. Maybe there's something you'd like us to consider adding or doing a little differently. After we're done here, please take a few minutes to take our programming survey. It's easy, it's online. Just head over to our homepage at artsforallwi.org and you'll find the blue button Program Survey. It will probably take you less than 5 minutes to complete. And who knows, maybe next year's Call for Art will include a category that you suggest, like interpretive dance. But this year, we're celebrating visual art and poetry. The first Creative Power Award in the Young Adult category, ages 16 through 21, in visual art goes to artist Malachi E.G. Schmidt for My Little Reason Why. Eyes closed, this couple leans together, face to face in a tender moment's embrace. These sensitively drawn figures seem to at once sizzle with energy and to melt quietly into their secret language. Malachi is from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. His experience growing up with autism gives him a unique perspective and voice that comes through his art in an unmistakable style of bright colors and patterns in the details. This is his first time answering our call for art, and we hope it's not his last. You can follow him on Instagram at Art by Malachi. The next Creative Power Award in the visual arts goes to photographer Maya Chia Vang for The Dock. This photograph is elegantly framed in a series of 3 receding planes, land, water, and sky, leading back to the horizon. A soft, rosy blush colors the sky over blue-green water, and a spray of orange beach grass rises over the diagonal shape of a weathered dock. Maya Chia is a student in the Sun Prairie District who loves going for hikes with her sister and enjoys taking photographs of their adventures. Thank you for sharing your adventures with us through your art. The Creative Power Award in the Young Adult category for poetry goes to Home Away from Home by poet Elia Zeitler.
(2021) Call for Art Young Adult Poetry Creative Power winner, Elia Zeitler.
Congratulations to our winning poet, Elia Zeitler. We are ready to let you know that the Madison Poet Laureate has selected your poem, entitled Home Away from Home, as a winning poem in the Arts for All Call for Art and Poetry.
Home Away from Home by Elia Zeitler. Michigan, Grandma's house, my home away from home, where I can feel free and just be me. Cookies and coffee, arts and crafts, Cheetos and chocolate, movies and staying up late, boat rides and floating in the river, birthdays and barbecues, campfires and s'mores. These things are all amazing, but it's being with my grandparents that makes it feel like home.
Aaliyah is a junior in high school in Luxembourg, Wisconsin. Now, we know Aaliyah as a visual artist and a singer, and we're delighted that she shared her poetry with us this spring. The Merit Award Young Adult category in visual art goes to Dogbird by Caleb Griswold. Is it a dog? Is it a bird? No, it's a dog bird, of course. Caleb's whimsical sculpture is a mingling of fur and feather, of wings and wagging tail, and this colorful creation can't help but make us smile. Caleb is from Reedsburg, Wisconsin, and is a prolific visual artist in several mediums. Caleb's painting Zoe joined the traveling exhibition last year when he won a Creative Power Award. It was great to see Caleb answer our call this year with 3D art. I know we don't have as much time to spend on each piece of art as we'd like to right now, but you can go to the virtual exhibition and give each of these creations the attention they deserve. You can view all of the submissions, and you can learn more about each of the artists as well. You'll also have a chance to vote on your favorites. See for yourself what a challenging job the jurors had this year. And now that you are a connoisseur of art, take a look at all of the galleries and consider making a purchase. Original art adds interest and meaning to the walls in your home or your office or your home office. And when you purchase art, 70% of the sale goes directly to the artist. No room on your walls? Here's an option. You donate the piece back to Arts for All Wisconsin, and we will make sure that it continues to be seen in real life in a future exhibition. Your art purchase helps to power Wisconsin's creative economy. And now back to the awards. A Creative Power Award in the adult category for visual art goes to artist Ryan Jinho Park Kane for Cocoon. In this intricate collage, Ryan first draws, adds color, and then cuts a lacework of paper layers. These are woven to create an environment that intertwines and blends with a dark shadowed figure. The figure appears to be caught up in a web, and we can see straight through the large portal-like eyes as if windows. Ryan is from Madison. He shares in his artist statement, "I am part of the group who are interlopers, afterthoughts, lessers, frauds, who do not belong anywhere, broken-tongue pariahs, bully to bullied, seen as backwards or invisible." We honor those feelings, and we want Ryan to know that there is a place where he belongs, and that is here with Arts for All Wisconsin. Through your art, Ryan, you are seen. You are not invisible. Thank you for trusting us with your art. The Creative Power Award in Poetry goes to Lynn Haynes for her poem, Home.
My name is Lynn Haynes, and I'll be reading my poem, Home. I can hear the furnace, its lungs keeping the house toasty warm, while trees whoosh in the terrific wind, slap ice branches against the house on this blue-gray sort of day. I imagine the ocean here, my bed gently resting upon its shore, toes in warm sand, the smell of salt and sea, warm palm of sun upon my skin. Though no ocean here, just this cold morning on a wintry day, I type clickety-clack while squirrels seize walnuts and bits of corn, and rabbits leap about with tiny feet. And oh, the theater of birds, tap-tap of woodpecker in his black and white suit and little red hat. Soon the flickety-flit of songbird, then the electric rush as hawk swoops in and waits. I too wait. I wait for the gone of winter and stirring root, knit stories an old woman might tell on her bed raft in her little home that makes nowhere into here, waiting for winter to sleep.
Lynn always wanted to be a poet, and I think it's safe to say she is. The Creative Power Award is among many honors she has received for her writing, including an Editor's Choice Award from the National Library of Poetry. Congratulations, Lynn. The next Creative Power Award in the adult category for visual art goes to Marlia Grinnell for Morning Swim. A beaver's nose skims forward on a pond's surface as cool blues and bright greens ripple past. Above the water, the beaver's textured fur is in sharp focus. Mirrored below, the reflections create abstract, washy patches of color. Marlia is from Madison, Wisconsin, and paints familiar subjects with a touch of unconventional color. She gets lost in expressive brushstrokes, textures, and vibrancies. I happen to follow her on Instagram at Sun Porch Paintings and am amazed by the volume and utter beauty of her work. The next Creative Power Award in the adult category for poetry goes to The Words Wrote Me Into the Day by Peta Daniels.
The Words Wrote Me Into the Day by Peta. This poem was inspired by a very traumatic incident when I was 18, working for my dad. Just past the picture window, a chickadee pecks at last year's sunflower hulls. Each tree stands above its roots. An insistent wind tickles each branch, summons the past. We stack the logs. A house rooted itself. A sunny day came, the notched corner called me. Like a barber, I started the chainsaw and began to trim the random lengths. Amidst the smoke and smell, a roaring, not the vibrating engine, but Dad, like a papa bear separated from its cubs. He tore the saw from my hands, a soaring as he flung it, like a black and yellow bumblebee it buzzed, and spittle arched from his lips, a rainbow of rain. Though standing, it seemed I curled at his feet, playing dead while the storm raged overhead, until I saw him leap to the saw, still idling its silver chain quite still. Then he flung it at my head. Awakened, I stepped aside, opened like a door on well-oiled hinges, through which the saw flew, landing on the rough-sawn porch, bouncing toward the window, still idling, still. Our eyes locked, my dad and I. Amazement rose like sap from my feet to my head. Instead of running, I locked and stood closed. A drum beat pounded in my ears, incessant in the doorway of my brain. Then Dad turned and strode away. The saw kept idling before the picture window of the cabin. I saw time through this picture window, ghost-like and gaunt. Ghost-like, I went to the saw and flicked the switch off. Silence and silent darkness crawled into my heart, slept there ever since. The determined tapping of the chickadee beak, last year's sunflower hulls arcing up outside this picture window. The insistent wind blows the past around the corner of this house, where it drops to the ground and plays dead.
Peter was well known to Arts for All Wisconsin as a painter. What we didn't know is that he's a skilled poet as well. Peter shared that he recently came to poetry through a workshop called Untold Stories offered by Lotus Legal Clinic, and his life was changed. Thank you, Peter, for trusting us with your words, and congratulations. The next Creative Power Award in the adult category for visual art goes to Rick Yankee for Breakthrough. This mysterious self-portrait incorporates the painterly skill of trompe-l'oeil, which literally means trick of the eye, and a sense of humor. We see inside the artist's self-portrait in which the reflected image of the painter breaks through the mirror frame and begins painting the lamp just beyond the ornate frame. There is a warm orange glow from candlelight to the interior room, and 3 of the artist's actual paintings are reflected on the wall behind him. Rick tells us, as an artist, I work hard to show others the beauty that exists around them in my paintings. I have an active imagination, but my body moves much slower. When I paint, I am not hindered at all. Rick is from Madison, and it's a first-time participant in our call for art. Congratulations, Rick. A Merit Award in Poetry goes to Thomas Dunn for his poem, My One True Home.
The one true home I ever knew is in my mind and thought. Here my seeds of becoming grew. From here my life is wrought. Gentle as mist the years do fall, gathering and nurturing fast. With or without windows or walls, the citadel is built at last. Upon these shoulders my home does rest, only to rent, never to own. The whole world round they call me guest, and everywhere I dwell alone. The earthly race is for the young, for youth is swift and age is frail. I am old, and my race is run. At dawn I led, in dusk I trail. My sun has swept its mighty arc, and there is little more to see. I draw the shades against the dark. Tomorrow's dawn is not for me. Let me rest in memory's vault, with words and song familiar. Far, far from the madding assault, clamorous youth I can't endure. Like outdated technology, the values that guided my youth are croached without apology, replaced with new, untried truth. Gentle indeed the years do fall, a few sleeps more to call my own. For on the wind the trumpets call, with the coming wake I'll be home.
Thomas is truly a Wisconsin poet. He was born in Black River Falls, raised in Pewaukee, and now lives in Fort Atkinson. He says, writing, whether songs, prose, or poetry, always helps me relieve all of the emotions that build up in the course of living. The next Creative Power Award in the adult category for visual art goes to Dr. Teresa Ann Kenny for Black Trumpets at Sunrise. The viewer is up close and level with the forest floor, amid a bed of soft green moss. A cluster of ruffled-edged black mushrooms sprout in upturned trumpet shapes. At sunrise, they glow a delicate violet as if lit from within. Dr. Kenny lives in Madison, Wisconsin. Her award-winning oil painting is from a series of oil-on-canvas paintings of Wisconsin fungi and is a culmination of work done when it was impossible to go on forays during the lockdown. This is her first time submitting it to our call for art. Thank you and congratulations. I encourage you to take some time to scroll through our online virtual gallery featuring all of the amazing creative work that was submitted from Wisconsin artists throughout the state. Artists representing 42 communities throughout Wisconsin answered our call in this most unusual year. Our online galleries feature details about the art and about the artists. Learn more about their perspectives, their challenges, and what they bring to their creative practice. A Merit Award in Poetry in the adult category goes to Rose Heflin for her poem, Heart and Home.
My name is Rose Heflin, and I'm reading a poem, Heart and Home, that was first published in Literal magazine in March of 2021. They say that home is where the heart is. If that's the case, my home is on the fall sidewalk, amid the crunch of dry autumn leaves, in the forest of the Poconos, rushing with the waterfalls and blooming with the skunk cabbage. In the California desert, sleeping soundly in Death Valley, beneath Orion and compatriots, and amid the roughly textured Joshua trees, pierced through by Ocotillo spines. On the prairies of Wisconsin, nestled securely in the leaves of a cup plant, yet falling gleefully from the slanting petals of a coneflower, and in the Rockies, held hostage by yellow-bellied marmots, and mesmerized by snow-covered slopes. If home is where the heart is, both of mine are broken, gloriously broken, into hundreds of beautiful pieces.
Rose has been writing poetry since childhood, but only recently started putting it out into the world. It has been well received, and it's been published in numerous outlets. Congratulations, Rose. The Merit Adult category in visual art goes to artist Fred Seeger for Farm Collage. A weathered farmer invites us to survey the farmland beyond. It's sunrise, and this farmyard bursts with activity. Crops ready to harvest and animals to care for. Detailed patterns fill familiar farm shapes with dynamic energy. Fred says these black and white pen and ink works are a series meant to emulate woodcut prints. Fred is a self-taught artist who has accomplished many achievements using his artistic abilities. His work has been recognized nationally and can be seen in our traveling exhibition, Creative Power, and is for sale in the Fred Seeger collection on our website. Congratulations, Fred. In addition to our praise, including the many emojis lighting up the screen over the last hour, we are pleased to share letters of congratulation from many of Wisconsin's elected officials throughout the state with the individual artists we honor today. Such well-deserved praise. Thank you again to all of our supporters and sponsors for supporting this year's Call for Art. And thank you for joining us today. You can always find us online at www.artsforallwi.org, where you can see art for sale, sign up for classes in visual art, music, dance, creative writing, and so much more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will find a recording of today's ceremony and lots of cool creative content. Be well, stay safe, and keep creating.